Hey fam, how's it going? Hi, that Oracle here with a reading for you guys. What is happening? If you're new, welcome in. Glad to have you. If you're returning to the channel, welcome back. I hope the time between we last saw each other has been well for you. These are general readings, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest for somebody else. And if you do find something resonates with you, go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Any of my information as far as readings, bracelets, and our Ko-fi memberships are all available in the description box below. But we're just going to go ahead and grab a few cards, get the general energy for this current time frame. We are getting into it, man. Spring is soon. It's going to be Aries season very soon as well, which means it is the beginning of the astrological year. So a lot of things, if you watched it, those aren't for me. Okay. If you've watched the last one I did on Friday, you guys know that we are heading into a phase of new beginnings and that we're being asked to reflect on what has happened already so we can get started and hit the ground running. So let's go ahead and see what we have today. Deep emotions, unknown feelings, and past life influences. We also have touching earth, planting something new. Let's check the rest of these out as well. Moonlight, enchanted magic, and elves, playfulness. Wow, okay. So, what I am definitely gathering here is that your attitude during this week, particularly, is going to be important in how you sow. Basically, the seeds of what's going to happen for the next year. So, it's all about planting seeds, it's about setting your intentions, about touching some grass. If you haven't touched some grass in a while, go out there and touch some grass. Or some dirt. Some of us don't have grass. I don't have grass. So, go out there, touch a tree. Just get out there and connect with nature for a little bit and get yourself sorted. It feels like there's a lot of things going on inside your mind when I'm looking at this deep emotions card. This is definitely the time to let it go and to let things kind of move the way it should. We're talking about playfulness and magic. We're talking about whimsy. We're talking about imagination. This is definitely the time where you shouldn't let things hold you back. And it's time to dream big. Even if you shoot for the stars, even if you miss it, you may catch a stray asteroid, right? Like you might, even if you don't hit the mark that you're aiming for, you're going to hit something way better than what you had before. So it's definitely about taking those heavy emotions, processing them, and learning to live with them, to leave them behind. Okay. I'm going to actually acknowledge the Page of Crystals first and then the Hierophant. So, Page of Crystals gives me this, what do I do with this newness? What am I going to do with this newness? Because we are in a space where things are kind of shifting over into the new year. Even for a lot of us don't even feel like the new year has started because it's still winter. And a lot of us kind of feel almost like spring is the new year because that's when new growth happens. That's when, the earth sort of wakes up from its slumber. The Hierophant is telling me right now that it is best to kind of seek guidance from above. So I'm seeing from your guides, from your angels, from your ancestors, whoever it is that you work with, whatever it is that you're having questions about, I feel like having this conversation, having this rapport with your spirit team is going to help you a lot in figuring things out because you have so many ideas, you have so many things that you want to do. But I feel like the heaviness of this deep emotion card is kind of keeping us from really understanding what to do with what we have. And that's why it's very important for us to kind of get in contact and to really get to a point where the secrets can be revealed to us. Because I feel like right now we just don't know anything and we're kind of waiting for an answer that is not coming. I feel like we're not asking either the right people or the right questions. And that has a lot to do with what is happening around us. The high priestess says that you actually already have the answers. So it's really a matter of kind of reconnecting with yourself as well, reconnecting with your intuition, with your abilities, and kind of like as you speak with your guides, it reminds me of therapy. Like a therapist isn't there to give you the answers. You know what I mean? The therapist is there to lead you to the right answers. And that's what's happening here in these conversations. Five of Blades is a reconciliation. So definitely kind of resolving the thoughts you have inside your head. There's definitely a lot of conflicting thoughts inside of your head. So the Five of Blades is telling me that we're going to be getting to a point where we're able to kind of make sense of it all and not feel overwhelmed by it. We also have the Tower. So this is happening pretty quickly. Like I said, this is for the week. So I feel like the sooner that you connect with your higher self, that you connect with your angels and really think it through and talk it out just for as long as you possibly can. I feel like the quicker you like the sooner that you do that, the quicker those answers are going to come to you. As soon as you allow yourself to ask, the answers will come in. As long as you allow yourself to ask, the answers will come in for you. That's what the Tower card is telling me here. And it might feel a little uncomfortable because it may be, you might be holding on to something that you shouldn't be holding on to still. And it might be you need to let it go. Or it could be to a point where the universe is just going to take matters into its own hands. And that's always fun. Because next thing you know, like the rug is just pulled out from under you and you're like, what the heck? But it's always for your better good. We also have the Chariot here. So what it's really telling us, especially with the Seven of Pentacles underneath, that it's time for us to kind of rein in ourselves and rein in our desires and kind of put a focus on it, put a fine point on it so we can move forward. The Chariot is a card of willpower. It's a card of wrestling with forces and guiding them down one direction, because oftentimes the horses or the sphinxes, depending on what your cards look like, are facing in different directions. They're opposing sides. You've got the black and the white. You know, you've got two different you've got two different points of view happening here, and it is your responsibility to kind of pull them together, to reconcile those two forces and to guide them down one path. So all of this has to do with you gathering the willpower and gathering the strength to see what your focus is and to get into it. I want to go and take a look back into the playfulness, because I feel like we've done a lot of the serious things here about planting something and the magic and the emotions. Let's talk about the elves card. Let's talk about playfulness. Why is that still hasn't been addressed yet? And I want to take a look into that. Okay. Three of Pentacles. This is definitely not something that you're doing alone. Oftentimes I see Three of Pentacles, I see things as going as planned. I also see things as working with others, whether it's your co-workers or with spirit, whatever it is that you're doing, you're not doing by yourself. And because of that, you're allowed to be a little silly with it. You're allowed to play around with it. You're allowed to really kind of experiment and see how far you can go with the things that you want to do. We also have the King of Pentacles here. Oh, I see. Yeah, because you've been feeling as if there's just been too many things kind of working against you. And it's very hard to move forward when you feel like every time you move forward, you land on your face. You know what I mean? I feel like the playfulness here is telling us that as long as we go through life with a level of joy we're never going to be without. The more we experience joy, the more we experience love, the more we shift to that higher positive vibration, the more positive things will happen to and for you. And so your security, your sense of well-being happens to be in this playful, this joyous nature. It is a slog to get there. I'm not saying that it's something you can just switch on overnight, but I am saying that as you start living like a kid, kind of living in the moment and really enjoying things as you're doing them. And even if you're not enjoying something, making a game out of it. So you're learning how to enjoy it despite the fact that you really didn't at first, but it's something that is necessary. I feel like the more that you do that, the more that you're attracting these good things into your life. You have to really shine bright so the ships know that you're there. If you're waiting for your ship to come in, the sea is dark. The sea is stormy. There is fog. You have to be the lighthouse for your ships to find you. And so it's all about shining bright, and it's all about being your most beautiful self. I want to say it that way, being your most beautiful self, being your happiest self. I had now been told to grab these cards from the floor, so give me a second. Okay, so these are the last cards. Knowledge and wisdom. I appreciate this so much. I so do. Because first of all, you have the 1 in 27, 27, and 2 plus 7 is 9. So it's like the beginning and the end. You have the beginning and the end. I almost feel like, and I picked them up like this. I picked it up wisdom first, then knowledge. So I want you to know that in that frame of reference, this is you now transitioning. This is how you transition into this new world, into this new reality, into this new year. There is a lot that you have taken in. There's a lot that's taken in, that you've taken in, that you need to turn into wisdom, right? You need to just kind of like internalize it and figure it out and see, like, these are the things that I have learned. These are the things that I need to keep with me. But know that the search for knowledge is infinite. That you're not ending something forever, that at this point you're just moving from one chapter to the other. You're leveling up in a very real way. And so now that you have learned what you have learned now, it's time to gain new knowledge. It's time to gain new experiences. It's time to really gain a new perspective on life and really start taking charge of the things that you want in it. And then you'll see just how far that gets you. So that's our reading. That's it. That's our reading for the day. So thank you guys so much for being here. You guys could be anywhere else in the interwebs. We decided to be here, and that means a lot to me. If this resonated with you, please like the video, subscribe if you have not already. Information, my readings, the Ko-fi membership, and my bracelets on my Etsy page. It's all in the description box below. Love you guys so much. I hope you have a great week, and until the next time, take care of yourselves.